everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie and this is a fountain pen awakening. I hope that wherever you are in the world you're doing super well. I'm fantastic. I just got a delivery with some ink samples that I've been dying to try out. And a couple of videos ago I did say that I was on a quest for the perfect grey green sagey ink. So the one that I have tested so far is the Robert Oster Sydney Darling Harbour ink, and that's that one there if we can see it. So I am looking to see if I can find something that is similar to that, but that's like a perfect kind of example of what I mean by grey greeny ink. It's kind of like a sagey ink. It's not too saturated. It's not a teal. It's not like a green. It's a green grey. If that makes sense. So I've got a few inks here that have arrived, and I thought that today I could do some ink swatchings with you and to see what kind of colours they come out to be. So starting off with my Sydney Darling Harbour one, I'm going to do a swatching of that, and then I will do the others just to make a comparison between this and these others that I kind of assume are grey greens, but then again I might be wrong. All right, let's get to it. All right, so here I am outside in my back veranda by the pool. I'm using my notebook. This has got the Tomoe River paper with the 68 GSM, and then I have got my pipettes. I've got my Pilot Iro Utsushi dip pen, medium, and I've got my paintbrush. So, as I said, I'm going to start off with the Sydney Darling Harbour, the Robert Oster one, which is the one that so far I have loved. I really love this grey green. Dippity dip dip dip. So this is kind of going to be the benchmark. So this is my Robert Oster, and this is Sydney Darling Harbour. This is quite a wet ink, so it can be blobby in certain pens. And when I say blobby, what I mean is that the line weight kind of expands and it's not as crisp. So if I use a fine nib, then that kind of tends to contain that blobbiness. So this is our benchmark here. I'll just write bench mark, grey, green. Okay, so my next one is Troublemaker Sea Glass. Also looks like a bit of a chroma shader. Dippity dip dip. Okie dokie. So this is Troublemaker and it's sea glass. So see, some pens, some inks are really kind of nice and they stick to the dip pen, and others don't. And I think with the Robert Oster that just was really super sticky, and this isn't. So it's not me, it's the inks. So this is sea glass, and this is definitely got more yellow to it, but it is quite a nice green. It does have some purple coming through there as well. Sorry, I'm a bit spastic because I can't put my hand down properly to write, so my writing is a bit weird when I have to write on this side. This is wet, so I probably, when I have to do it on this side, do the writing sample first and then the ink swatchings. All right, so the next one is Warringle's Mad Hatter. Well, that's an interesting colour, but it's, yeah, it's more of a, it's got more green in it, but I don't mind it. So this is Warringle Mad Hatter. Yeah, I don't mind this at all. This is quite nice. Even though it's got more green than blue, this has got more blue in it. How are we doing for light? The sun's gone down now. My next one is still from Warringle, and this is the King Leah, and it's a shimmer ink. I think I saw this on some channel being swatched. This looks super dark, doesn't it? Ooh, like that. That's lovely. Ooh, that is very, very nice. Okay, I better give that a shake because it is shimmer ink. Very, very nice. Ink splatters all over the place. So this is a Warringle ink as well. King Leah. Oh, I really, really, really like this one. This is a true, well, at least on this paper, it looks like a true sagey grey green. Now, when I look at the comparison to that, that looks so much more blue. So interesting, isn't it? What you perceive as one colour. But I don't see any shimmer in this. So this Warringle Mad Hatter and this Warringle King Leah look very similar in everything. Maybe the only difference is that one's got a shimmer and one doesn't. Interesting to see once that dries, the shimmering properties. So the next one I've got is Sailor Rikyucha. This kind of reminds me of my Robert Oster avocado. It's kind of a little bit darker than that. Here's my paintbrush. Oh, I keep forgetting to dry my paintbrush. So this is Sailor. It feels like a really nice lubricated ink. Sailor is the Kyuja. So I guess with the chalk part of it, this is probably kind of like the color of tea leaves. It kind of looks like a chroma shading ink too, because there's a few different colors coming through. Yeah, it kind of reminds me, now that it's drying, more of Palette's Iroshizuku's Inaho. It's more of a like a khaki green. And the last one I've got for today is the Sailor Ink Studio 462. So I've seen this being swatched as well on a few channels. So I thought I'd give this one a go. And this does look very similar to the Robert Oster, which is pleasing.
it's just got a bit of chroma shading in there because it's got some mauvies and purplies coming through. Ooh, that's really nice too. Super, super nice. So we've got the Sailor, Studio, and 462. Really, actually, I really like them all, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, so this ink studio here, the Sailor one, is, I think, pretty much the closest one to the Sydney Darling Harbour, as far as I can see, as it's drying. It does have some purplies and mauves in there, so I'm guessing it is a chromo shading ink. The Sailor Licucha is a much more khaki green. It reminds me more of like a tea colour. And the King Lear and the Warringal Mad Hatter, they're both very similar. The only difference is one has got shimmer, the other one doesn't. And the Sea Glass is completely different. It's got lots of yellow in there. So I wouldn't call it a grey green. So I'm going to give that a moment to just dry, and then we'll do a close-up. All right, so I've given it a moment to dry. And as we can see, this Sailor here, this Rikyucha, sorry. It's a very kind of like, yeah, it reminds me a bit of a military green, a khaki green. So that's kind of not quite the ticket. So if we have a look at my Robert Oster Sydney Darling Harbour here, and we compare it to the Sailor Ink Studio 462, then I think that we get pretty much like a very similar situation. This doesn't have any, it might have a little bit of lilac pink in there. This has a lot of pink lilac in there. Then as we come over here, the Sea Glass, the Troublemaker ink, that's got a lot of it's got a pink and lilac in there, but it's got a lot of yellow as well. So it's not kind of doing that sagey green. And then if we have a look at the Warringal ink, so the Mad Hatter and the King Lear, we have some sheen in there, some pink sheen. And here we don't have any sheen, but they are exactly the same. And this is a really nice sagey grey green as well. It doesn't have as much blue in there. It has more yellow, but I really like these two. So yeah, on the quest for the perfect grey green ink. So that's what I have for you in this video, my friends. I hope that you have enjoyed swatching with me, and let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions of what I can try for this sort of grey green ink that I'm looking for. Be really curious to see what you can suggest or help me in my quest. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. And thanks for liking, subscribing, and supporting my fountain pen journey. And until my next one, be well, and I'll see you then. Ciao. All right, guys, so I just wanted to quickly show you the ink properties when they're dried. Now, this is a couple of hours later, and this has got a red sheen to it as well as like some mauvey pinky properties. This one here, look at that red sheen in there. How cool is that? This one here has got
some sheen in there as well. This one here has got a lot of pink and mauve in there, bit of a sheen there. And this Warringal, look at this. This gorgeous pink shimmer in there.